Hey, what is up? So I'm out shooting here in the middle of the summer and I thought maybe we should talk about my rig here. What parts I use, why I use them and how I use them. For my A7R III, I'm still rocking this thing. Let's see, this should also fit nicely on a new A7S III. So first of all, this is all small rig base plate. This is the Manfrotto quick release. It's hard to find, but I think it's the better option in terms of if I want to just use the cage or something like that. It is a little bit more stable. It's a bigger platform, so to speak. So I like this base plate. It's a quick release base plate. I really like that. It's solid, it's good. Small rig rods, carbon fiber and stuff like that. The handles are also small rig shoulder pad, of course. So basically you can find everything on small rig nowadays. And the quality is really good. Also have the small rig monitor arm thing, EVF holder with a swivel arm, pretty nice. And then if you can see it here, just have a V-mount plate on this side here. Which is also nice because it connects the tab and also has a 12-volt out for the monitor, which is the Shinobi, of course, the Atomos Shinobi. I have this one here. This is the Vodka base plate, I think, V-mount. It's not the best. I'm still looking for a better solution. I like though that how it can be mounted and has a variable angle, so to speak. But the quality of the locking mechanism is not the best. So sometimes it's a bit trickier. And I have a generic V-mount. This is the smaller one. Usually I'm good to go with this. And that way I can power up all the things, the camera and the monitor. And I even have a USB out on this plate, that's also nice. And so I can actually power up or charge lights or even the wireless system that I use for audio. But then there is another solution. I have this thing here. You can find it in different versions. I like this style. You can basically use two of those Sony batteries. In this case, I have the F970, but you can go bigger or smaller. And basically this is like an V-mount battery now. This is the cheaper version, so to speak, and I have lots of those laying around for lights and stuff like that. So I can put those on just like that. And this is even a little bit heavier, and with bigger batteries you can get 12,000 milliamps. I think it can power the system longer than with small V-mount. So this is also a nice option. So let's talk about the cage for the Shinobi here. By the way, this is just a dummy battery, Sony dummy battery that goes out from the V-mount. I also have the dummy battery for the Sony A7RIII batteries here. So this is cable managed here. This is all cable managed here with an adapter thing and with cable straps. Nothing fancy here, but yeah. So in terms of monitor, I use the Shinobi from Atomos. Basically, this is the best monitor you can get in this price range of around 350 euros or even less, sometimes a little bit more. But it's solid, it's bright, it's good, has good peaking. It's not too big, not too heavy. I really like it. I have a little screen protector on there, which is actually kind of nice. It's a little bit more reflective, even though it is a matte screen protector. Also nice about this screen protector is that touchscreen is a little bit more responsive, funnily enough. Yeah, so, and I used it without a cage before, but the issue was that the HDMI cable comes out on the left, and this is sometimes hitting on stuff, doorways, something like that, people. So basically the cage, it's from Nizi, whatever it's called. It's a nice new brand. And what I did like more about this cage for the Shinobi, there is some option from SmallRig as well. I really like the cable protector here because it's bigger, more solid, more rugged, and kind of saves the cable not only from disconnecting, but also it's like a protector for getting hit. The build quality is also quite solid, even though it is modular, which I had bad experience back in the days with other cages and stuff like that, but it's solid. I never had problems. It is good, no sharp edges. I really like this monitor cage here. Yeah, and also I like the sun hood a bit better. It's a little bit more solid and not as big. From SmallRig there's also a sun hood that costs more, I think, and also has a odd flap around here on the bottom, and it's not as sturdy and well made, so to speak. The overall unit doesn't get too heavy with the cage, even though the Shinobi is really light. That's one of the nice key factors of this monitor as well. I really like the cage around it, so yeah. Okay, let's talk about this SmallRig cage for my rig. I have another video up here, here. I talk about all the parts that I have connected here. So if you want more details about those parts, check that video out. So I changed a few things on this rig. I just got this low profile SmallRig NATO rail that stays on now permanently. Before I had a bigger one and it kind of got in the way if I want to have a small rig, but this can stay on here. I also switched the cold shoe mount here for the Rode Wireless Go. I connect this later, and other than that, I'm good. I have the Manfrotto plate under here, and I have the mini map box from Tilta now. So this is all good. So usually I connect this dummy battery now. I connect this quick release plate. I really like this mechanism. It's really solid, and yeah. Then I have this HDMI cable. By the way, all here cable managed. Really like this. Secured with the cable clamp. All good. Yeah, like I showed in the video, I have this Sony audio unit. Yes, it is expensive, but really makes this a professional camera, especially for interviews and stuff like that. With the multi-shoe here, I have this cable coming here from the unit. Yep, and then the Rode Wireless Go goes on here, and the cable just connects here. So now this is all kind of nice and sweet. Now with this low profile NATO rail, so now I connect this top handle here, and this low profile NATO rail is really nice. Stays out of the way, but is really solid. So this top handle from SmallRig, I just connect if I know I have to carry around the camera all day. If it's just a tripod setup all day or something like that, I usually just don't have it here, because it kind of gets in the way of the audio controls here. So but it's usually okay. If I have it on the tripod, I remove this top handle most of the time. There you go, that's most of the rig done. What I have here now is the Tilta mini map box, really nice, solid, not too expensive, not too big, especially when I have the monitor here. A bigger matte box would get into the way. I usually don't use filters anyways, but it's nice to have something that protects the lens a bit, but also is a sunshade, of course. And I recently added this quick release thing. There's some of those from SmallRig as well. This is a cheap alternative, but I think the SmallRig ones are more solid. So this is a unique, maybe a bit odd, but for me it works a way to connect a light. In this case, this is the MC light from Aperture, not quite sure. And that way it is just connecting quickly and stays on here, also zooms in, out. The other solution would be to have a little arm here on this thing or here, but then the whole unit gets a bit too top heavy and sometimes odd, and also this way it kind of fiddles around. This might look odd, but works for me really well. So this is a nice little thing. That's also the nice thing about this mini matte box. It has screw holes on top of the unit, so really nice. So for that it's really useful. So yeah, there you go. Usually this goes on only if I know I need some light for interviews or shots that are in the dark and something like that. I have it in my bag, but usually it doesn't stay on the matte box. Yeah. So the last thing is the sun hood. Usually only if I'm outside in the sunlight. It really connects quite good. Maybe not in this camera angle though. Usually it stays on there quite nicely. Always takes longer, always trickier when the camera is recording stuff like that, of course. All right, so this is nice and solid, stays on there, blocks out the light, of course, even though most of the time it's not necessary with the Shinobi because it's bright, but sometimes it is good to have. Also makes the whole unit a little bit more professional, so to speak. Sometimes this is also important for clients still in this day of age. Yeah, so sometimes the only issue is that the sun hood gets in the way of the display on the Wireless Go, which is not a big problem, just a minor thing. So for interviews, most of the time I remove the sun hood from the monitor cage. So yeah, this is basically the whole rig that I have for interviews, run and gun shoots, basically all around the A7R Mark III. Hopefully at some point the A7sIII, but for now I'm good. I'm happy with this setup. It's basically all SmallRig, base plate, shoulder pad, carbon fiber rails, the longer ones, monitor arm from SmallRig, the SmallRig handle mounts. Those are, I'm not quite sure, it's from, I'm not quite sure, I will link those handles, but basically get the SmallRig handles as well. They are a little bit more solid. Also those knobs here are not perfect, and the rubber, not quite sure, but I had those, they are solid as well. But yeah, so wooden hand grip here, really nice, still like this, and the very much, oh, and also I have this little thing here. This is also from SmallRig. I can mount stuff here. For example, if I have a second wireless system, I usually connect it here and run the cable around here and connect it here. All right, that's it. This is all about this rig here. Really solid, I really like it. It's all around the A7R Mark III still. At some point I might switch to the A7sIII if that comes out. Should be very soon, and if it's any good, but for now I'm pretty happy. Yeah, so if you have any questions about this rig or have any alternatives, so especially for the handles maybe, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you like those kinds of videos and want more, let me know topics and maybe subscribe or like or whatever. And yeah, see you in the next one, maybe A7sIII related. Who knows? Anyways, cheers, peace out. Oh no, did I just do that? No. We don't do that here. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Gute Nacht. Goodbye. Yeah, as you can see, this is quite solid, lays good on the shoulder. I could move this camera even a bit more back. Yeah, but quite like this setup, pretty solid. See you in the next one, peace.